Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about a subject that many of us don't think about until it's too late. Quite a few of us put it off and think, oh, I'll be okay, and then they find that it's too late again. And it's a subject that you've got to have here when you come here to Thailand, and that is health insurance. Whether we like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, it's irrelevant. The point being is when you come out here, if you are sick or involved in an accident where you need medical care and you don't have insurance, guys, you really are dipping your toe into a boiling vat of oil. So I really don't want that to happen for you. I want to give you an idea as to what to expect about the costs involved, the pitfalls, the things that are going to possibly come up and catch you off guard. And the one person I want to speak to is a guy called Jack. Jack is at Macallan Insurance. He's been here many years. He's an absolute guru of knowledge on this subject. He's been helping people here for decades, and as someone that I think you really do need to connect with if you don't have health insurance or you're looking at your options, because he really is a very knowledgeable man. So where is he? Well, we're on Pattaya, which is South Pattaya Road, and if I spin the camera around, so just to give you your bearings. Now, when you come up South Pattaya Road, initially you're going to see Tony's Gym, and when you see Tony's Gym on the corner of 3rd Road, then what you do is you head up and you just basically keep going and you'll see 7-Eleven. And 7-Eleven here right in front of us. And what we'll do is we'll carry on walking up, and then I'll show you where it's off. I just find this is easier. I get a few people saying to me, Trev, I want to go there, but I couldn't find it. So hopefully doing it this way, it'll give you an opportunity to see how I get there. And it's not very far. You know, if you're in the town centre, you can get a Bolt motorbike taxi for less than 50 baht. If you don't like riding on the motorbikes, you can get a car for less than 100 baht. But the point being is, you know, Jack's been here a long time. I've known him many years. And, you know, they say bad news travels fast. I've never ever heard a bad word about him or his business. They've always been highly regarded, highly recommended, and for all the right reasons. So if you are thinking about it, or maybe you've just dismissed it and you think, oh, I'll do that later. I get that. I totally get it. You know, we're all the same. If I'm going to pay out thousands of baht per year, blah, 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 what if I don't need it? But the trouble is, and I think you'll agree with me here, the trouble is when you need it, it's when you least expect it. And if you haven't prepared for it, it could leave you in hot water. So hopefully, when I chat with Jack in a minute, it'll give you an opportunity to listen to his experience and his knowledge and think to yourself, is it worth not having it? You know, when you talk about things like for instance, a stent. If you have a stent put into your heart, Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, you're looking at 100,000 baht plus. And if you need 2 or 3, you know, you're talking serious money. You know, if you're ever unfortunate enough to be involved in an accident and you know, you need medical attention, medical care, again, you know, these are the kind of things that can come up when you least expect it. You don't prepare for it, and then when you are in that position, you think, damn, what do I do now? And a lot of the holiday insurances policies, you've got to be careful where you're going. And sorry, that guy just threw me off the guard. Then he comes straight out on his motorbike and run me over nearly. Anyway, there you go. See, health insurance, run over by a motorbike. Anyway, but the point being is, you know, you've got to be aware of the what ifs. How am I going to deal with it? Who do I contact to deal with it? And all those kind of scenarios. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. And Macallan Insurance is just up here. I'll put the links in all his details in the video description, but it's just up here on the left hand side. And like I say, he's been here a long time. Another point of reference for you here is the grass condominium. The grass condominium, that's another focal point for you. So think, right, I'll get not the BART bus, sorry, get the Bolt taxi to bring me here. And at least that way then you know where. But literally it's right here, right in front of us. And we're going to sell it to Jack. He's a lovely guy, very knowledgeable. So just up here, right in front of us, this is Macallan Insurance. 1 second, pass. Right, here you are. And they don't just do healthcare, they do a lot of other stuff as well. They do motor insurance, fire insurance if you're living here, commercial property insurance, many different insurance. You can see there's a list on the window. Home and content, general accident, general liability, fire, medical and health, marine, professional risk, workman's compensation, construction engineering, commercial property, and miscellaneous. So he covers an incredible range of policies and protection. Okay, let's pop in and go and see Jack. All right, so I'm sat with the man himself. Jack, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing fine, Trevor. How are you?
February 2021 was the last time we sat down together. February 2021.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which
No,
it was.
2021, I cheated. I had a look on the videos.
Really?
How time flies.
That long ago?
I know, yeah. And we're still just as good looking as we were back then.
Always will be. Always will be.
Now, the reason I'm sat here, like I said to you on my walk up here, you know, health insurance is that kind of topic that people either embrace or they push to one side and say, oh, I'll do that later when I need it. This man here has been here many, many years, a lot longer than me, has helped out literally hundreds of people, thousands of people over the years. And what I want to do is I just want to go through stuff with you about health insurance and what people tend to either ignore or they don't think will happen or they're not aware of until it's too late. So in terms of like health insurance, how does that side of things work here in Thailand?
They work pretty much as you would expect them to work if you had a policy.
Okay.
Most policies, and we sell a lot of policies, and I know other brokers that sell a lot of policies, and most of the time we don't have to get involved. It's bad news that sells newspapers. That's what my mum used to say anyway. So what you hear in the public domain is you hear about the bad things that have happened, but you don't hear about the hundreds and hundreds of very good results that we get each year here. And I think that's unfortunate, and I point that out to people. And when I point it out, people go, oh yeah, it is. We only hear about the bad things, because I could tell you hundreds and hundreds of very good results that we've had.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to know.
Yeah, but where it doesn't sell is this like, okay, well that was lucky, but what about the bad stories? But in terms of guys that are coming out here, I mean, when you come to Thailand, do you have to have health insurance?
You don't have to have health insurance. The government keeps saying that they'd like to bring it in, but it's so difficult because people can buy health insurance or come over on a travel insurance and then just not renew it. So that's down to these people. They're not thinking forward. When you buy a car, you buy insurance, a new car, it's automatic. People just do it. They think it's important, but the most important thing that they have is their health and their life. And if you don't have insurance when something drastically goes wrong, then you're going to find yourself in financial trouble unless you're extremely well heeled.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of having health insurance, I mean, I know here in Thailand it's the standing joke, isn't it? You know, they go to the hospital, they don't ask your name first, they ask what your policy number is. You know,
That's it. And if you don't have a policy number, they sometimes move you to a cheaper hospital.
Yeah, well, I've seen your poster up there. That's brilliant.
Yes, that was Mike Baird, a brilliant cartoonist.
Yeah.
And he did it specially for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
unfortunately, it's true.
well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. That is the reality. I mean, I've been to hospital 2 times, and both times I got to reception, and before they took anything, the questionnaire says, "Do you have a health insurance?"
Yes.
And it's like, wow, like, do you want to know what's wrong first before we get down that route? You know, can you tell me how I stand with things? But like you say, they literally just want to know, can you afford it or not?
Actually, it's wrong of them because there is a patient's charter which says that if you are in a life-threatening situation or if you are in pain, they should treat you first.
Okay.
But this is why we call it the Hippocratic Oath. They don't exactly follow that. They are, when it comes to the bottom line, they are in there to make money. They're not like a National Health Service. They're there to make money, and if they think they're going to lose money, they're not happy.
So, when you come out here, obviously you've got travel insurance. I mean, in respect to like, let's divide the two. You've got travel insurance, and then you've got this type of insurance that you offer. Where do they differ? So,
well, travel insurance is really for someone who's travelling and returning home. It has a specified expiry date, whether it's for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it is, and then it ends, and you're expected to be home by then. A health insurance policy with most companies that we sell in this brokerage, which is Macallan brokerage, will expire when you are 100 years old.
wow.
And we don't see many people actually at that age. But I am currently insuring people in their mid-80s. And there is a downside to that. As you get older, the price goes up.
Yeah.
But then the chances of you using it goes up, and that's why the price is going up. It's not aimed at any individual. It's an actuarial calculation that as you get older, the chances of your body breaking down in some way or other increases.
Yeah, which is very true. That's a fair comment.
It happens, yes.
I mean, when you look at travel insurance, one of the things that I've always, like when I've travelled in my life around the world, I've never ever really read the small detail. You know, to be honest with you, I just get it. Yeah, okay, I've got it. Thanks very much, and I'll crack on. In terms of limitations and stuff, so say I come here and I'm on a insurance, and I'm going to stay for say a month or 3 months, and I've got my travel insurance. In terms of the limitations, what are the general things that people either overlook or are not aware of? Are there like limits in how much the insurance covers, or things that you've seen in your experience?
Well, there's always limits on the amount that you're covered for, but the most serious exclusion on a travel insurance is that quite often they will not cover pre-existing conditions. Okay. They also won't cover dangerous sports often, and a sport could be diving below 30 meters, hiking over mountains with oxygen masks on, or even over a certain amount of feet, or potholing.
So do dangerous sports include riding a motorbike out here?
That's not dangerous, that's lethal.
Yeah, that's normal everyday life.
Yeah.
So these travel insurance, I mean, obviously they serve their purpose, but for guys, if you're coming out here and you want a really comprehensive kind of insurance to cover all your stuff, I mean, talk to me about what you can do for people.
Well, when we sell you an insurance, we ask a series of questions, assuming that you are going to be as honest as you can be with them, then you are covered. The insurance company look at your application, and if, for example, you've had a hernia in the past, they may say, we're going to exclude hernias in the future because it's a pre-existing condition. At least you know about it, and it's not a shock when you go to hospital. But otherwise, they cover you for every conceivable thing. I suppose conceivable doesn't include having a baby for a man, but there you go. Yeah, they'll cover heart attacks, they'll cover cancers. We now have a company that will cover outpatients for cancer, even if you don't have outpatients, because a lot of cancer treatment now is done by radiation and chemotherapy. So they include it in the inpatient section, even if you're covered, even if you're having outpatient treatment, and that is a step forward.
Right, gotcha. So one of the things that I get asked quite a lot is that people go to the hospital, and some people have sadly been told you've got to pay first and claim later.
Oh, this is a beauty. What people don't realise is that a lot of hospitals have a financial issue themselves. Now, when somebody is in hospital and they've got their hospital card, it doesn't matter which company it is, and the hospital think we can get the money up front, they try to. They often say to my customers, we've checked with the insurance and they said, will you pay first and claim it back yourself off the insurance? And when we get to hear of that, if the customer's savvy enough to call us, we tell them to call this number, and they call, and then they find out, this is 9 times out of 10, they find out that the hospital hasn't even sent the details to the insurer, but they just want to get the money up front. But the poor old broker is getting it over the head just now.
Yeah.
And until we clear it, and then they say, oh yeah, you were right, the hospital hadn't contacted them, but it's okay now. Sometimes we get a thank you, but
The trouble is you know,
not often.
I can imagine, you know, if you are unfortunate enough to be admitted to hospital, you're in a series of distress anyway because you're in hospital.
Normally,
then,
yeah.
You know, then to have the added stress of, oh, by the way, you need to pay up front, please. You know, you think, well, where do I get the money from? This is why I've got my insurance. I mean, it must be a traumatic scene.
With each and every client that I sell to and my staff sell to, we tell them that this may happen. And on the back of their card, there is a 24-hour number, English and Thai, that they can call to see what is happening with their claim, and if it's being paid or if it's not being paid, or if the insurance have sent the correct documents down. The other one that we get a lot is that customers phone me and say, I've been waiting 4 hours. The doctor told me 4 hours ago that I could leave the hospital. And they say, oh, we're waiting on the insurance. And the reality often is that When the doctor sees you, sees the patient, he then goes and sees all his other patients.
Okay.
There could be one other, there could be 10 or 15 others. Then he has to go and write his notes for all of these patients. After he's written his notes for all of these patients, they go to the pharmacy if they're being discharged so that they get the medicine, and all that's taken into account. We reckon, and everybody agrees with us, from when the doctor tells you you can actually go, it's 3 to 4 hours before they're in a position to inform the insurance company of what the final bill is going to be.
Okay.
It can be longer, it can be shorter, but 3 to 4 hours is a good average. When it gets to the insurance company, there's so many hundred hospitals in Thailand all doing this 3 to 4 hour thing and then sending everything down. Fortunately, all the insurance company have got to do is look at what they already know, check that the patient's covered for this, and then send it back. It normally takes them 30 minutes from when they receive the request to actually give the go-ahead. Wait for this, by fax.
By fax?
By fax.
Really?
Yeah.
In this modern world we live in, they do it by fax?
They do it by fax. The fax machine is often not where the claims section is or the insurance section. Wow. So then you've got to wait for someone to be on top of it enough to either go to the fax where the fax machine is, or the people with the fax machine to forward it to where the insurance department is. And sometimes these things lie there for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Oh, sorry, it's been lying there and we forgot to send it. And this is all because the hospital are hoping that you're going to say, oh, to heck with this, I'll just pay it and claim it back myself.
Wow.
Don't do it.
Who uses a fax still now, though? Wow. So
they use a fax machine, yeah.
I want to ask you a question because it's something that I hear around, I hear many people talk about, and you're going to just destroy what I'm going to say now and tell me the truth. But what I hear is, it's often quite known that, oh, well, if you can't pay, they're just going to wheel you out into the middle of nowhere and leave you to die. I mean, what is the reality?
They send you to Bumrungrad.
Oh, is that where you go? Is it Bumrungrad?
Yes, I can tell you a very sad story about that one day. But yeah, if they think you're not going to, if they think there's a problem with paying, they should still look after you until you're in a fit state to be moved. And if you are going to be moved, and sometimes they do it fairly swiftly or more quickly than they should, you are moved to a government hospital.
Right. And I've been to these government hospitals. These are the ones...
Sorry, I said Bumrungrad. That's the wrong hospital. That's in Bangkok. Apologies to Bumrungrad, to Banglamung Hospital.
Banglamung, yeah. And when I go home to my home up in Korat, I go to a government hospital because my wife's mum and mother and father go to these hospitals. And all I'll say, guys, is that when you approach, you will see trolley after trolley after trolley after trolley of people laying on these trolleys, waiting to be seen by a doctor outside, not in no air-conditioned unit, not in anything that would be particularly nice. So the message I'm trying to say here, guys, is for the sake of a few thousand, and we're going to talk about the average cost now, and I know it's down to each individual, so it's not a given, but what I'm talking about is, you know, I've seen these hospitals where they put them on the trolleys outside, and there might be 10 trolleys deep.
Yep.
And, you know, they're laying there, and it's just like, wow, what is going on? You know, it's incredible. So, you know, guys, the message of this is, look after yourself. You know, you spent a long of your life to earn your money to come out here and enjoy yourself. So, you know, don't let a few thousand baht stop you enjoying yourself. And trust me, you wouldn't want to be out in these trolleys. When we talk about insurance, I mean, I know it's a completely question that you can't answer. I get this, but what I'm trying to get to is, let's just say you've got an average 50-year-old guy that's not been in any medical problems, nothing like that. He's in generally good health. And I know this is completely ballpark, just roughly, but where do you stand in terms of like the cost per year for a comprehensive policy like you offer?
Comprehensive policies vary. A comprehensive policy could be covering you for 1.2 million baht per time in hospital, up to 50 million baht per time in hospital. And depending where you are on the scale, would decide the premium.
Yeah.
Having said that, the policies that we sell most often are for between 3 and 5 million baht per confinement, which we think 5 million baht will do the trick. 3 million baht will normally do the trick. Per confinement means per time in hospital, and then it's renewed every year. And that would cost maybe 40,000 bahtish, maybe. And then it depends whether you want outpatient, whether if you're a young fit guy, you may decide to opt for a deductible.
Okay.
Because that means that you're responsible for the first amount per case or per year, whatever you choose. So
That's not bad, is it? I mean,
there's options.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like less than £1,000 a year.
Yeah. It's best to get the policy when you're young and fit, because when you're young and unfit, it becomes more difficult, more expensive, and there'll be more exclusions on the policy.
So what about old and totally unfit?
It just becomes more difficult.
Yeah.
We can do it, usually, but A, it's expensive, and B, there'll be exclusions. And sometimes they don't want the exclusions. The exclusions quite often will be hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and that means you're not covered for strokes and heart attacks,
Right.
which apart from cancers are the things that you're most likely to get or to have problems with.
I love listening to you because you're so knowledgeable. One other question I want to ask you, because it's been great talking to you, and I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. What are the common things people either overlook or don't get in place that when you look at their insurance, you think, well, you've missed this, guys, you should have put that in place? What are the common things in your knowledge and experience when you look at it and say, guys, these are things you've got to be aware of?
When you go to hospital?
In your insurance. So if I want to take out insurance and I go to hospital, what are the common things that you in your experience look over and go, he's made that mistake, he's made this mistake, he's made that mistake, and these are things that you guys, you've got to be aware of?
When you go to hospital, whether you've got insurance or not, they are going to sit you down and take your blood pressure. Now, if your blood pressure top reading is 140 or over, ask them to take it again, because for whatever reason, 140 is the chosen measurement which says you've got high blood pressure, you've got hypertension. If you wait 10 or 15 minutes and try to take it again, and again if necessary, say, please don't record that figure, bring it down, because that's going to come back and bite you in later years. If they're going to say you've got hypertension, then they're going to exclude heart attacks. You're going to have various ailments that won't be covered in the future. So be very aware of this. If you're going to buy health insurance, for God's sake, it doesn't have to be us, but go to a broker. If you go direct, it's the same price, but when you have a claim, it's their money. When you have a claim with a broker, he will fight for you because you don't know enough about insurance to do the fight yourself, generally. So make sure you use an accredited broker. If anyone wants to see my work permit, it's right behind me. If anyone wants to see that we're a legal entity, it's up on the walls. I've been here doing this for 34 years, and if we didn't look after our clients, I probably wouldn't be here. The most important thing for us just now, and we have our own claims section in here to help if there is an issue with a claim, but we will help our clients because we know that does us more good in the future than selling as many policies as possible.
Yeah.
We will look after our claims first every time.
I think Jack's been very modest there. I've known Jack a long time, and I've known some of the things that Jack's done for clients, not on this camera, but away from here, where we spoke about where he's had phone calls in the middle of the night and helped out the clients and dealt with it. All these kind of things, guys. He's been very modest. The point being is 34 years, you don't stay in this city for 34 years if you don't take care of what you say you're going to do. It's as simple as that, guys. So it's been a pleasure, Jack. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
As always.
It's been nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, yeah.
I'll see you in two, 3 years, okay?
We try and do a bit more often than this. But anyway, the point being, guys, listen, if you are looking for health insurance, and not just health, remember when I stood outside, look at all the other stuff they've got on offer, motor insurance, all these kind of things. Come and see Jack and his team. You're in safe hands. They're very, very reliable, very, very good, got a fantastic reputation. Think about it from my side of things. I don't just walk into any building. I always make sure I do my due diligence. I've known Jack a long time. I know he's got a good reputation. So that's why I bring them to the channel and say, guys, get in touch. You're in good hands. So guys, check it out. Please have a look. Right, I'm going to pop back outside and I'm going to have a little wander around, and we're going to go and see if I can raise my hyper blood pressure in that hot air. It's so hot at the moment.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, do they take that into account? So if I had to go to the hospital now, it's boiling hot.
No, they don't.
Do they?
What they do is they say, sit down, clamp it on, put a thermometer wherever they put the thermometer, and they don't take it into account. And you've got to turn around and say to them, that's a bit high, please do it again, because that will come back and bite you.
Well, there you
the
go.
other thing about a broker, if I may finish,
Yeah, carry on, please.
is that if they come back to you and you've got your policy, and if they come back and say, oh, you had high blood pressure in this day, this day, this day, we will look at your back hospital record and say, well, he had a broken leg, no wonder he had a high blood pressure, rather than they're just saying you've got hypertension. And we do that on a regular basis. In fact, I've got one here, I think. Anyway, I've got it here, whereby someone's having a problem and we're saying, well, it's because of this, this and this. We will win, but they're used to so many people not knowing how to go about it. That
break your leg,
insurance
your blood pressure will be okay.
Insurance companies are not a charity. And people have not to think of them as a charity. Like hospitals aren't a charity.
No, that's fair comment. I mean, that's fair. But like you say, break your leg, get your blood pressure tested, and strange enough, it's higher than normal. But anyway, there you go, guys. So please, like I say, I'll put the link to Jack's website and all his contact details down below. So have a look there, guys. Get in touch. Listen, one phone call, just one phone call or one visit could save you thousands and thousands of pounds of bar later on, should you ever be unfortunate enough to need it. So what I'd say is come in and at least have a chat first, see your options, and then the ball is in your court, as we say. Right, thank you very much, Jack.
Stay safe.
We are going to be out, and I'll be back in touch. Right,
see you.
Catch you in a minute. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, it's just another angle I wanted to bring to the channel. It's part and package of when we come out here, when we're living here, or your long stay on a holiday. You know, these are the things that sadly will come up when you least expect it and you're least prepared. And it's always easy to look back in hindsight and say, I wish I'd have done that. But the trouble is, by then it's too late. So all I'll say, guys, is if you are looking to get some health insurance, come and see Jack. He's been here 34 years. He's extremely knowledgeable. No messing about. He doesn't cut corners and hide things. He just tells you straight how it is. And he was very, very calm when he said in there about, they'll try and help you. They bend over backwards to help. And I know many people here, many people here, that they've not just bent over backwards to help, they've absolutely dug them out of a deep hole. So come and see Jack and see what it's all about, because trust me, you're in safe hands. All right, there we are. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Like I said earlier, if you are supporting the channel, please look at the new PayPal members link. I've changed the PayPal account. You would have got an email. It wasn't a spam email. It was genuinely from me. So please change over to the email address that's in the description below. Have a look on our Instagram and our TikTok. Instagram's about nightlife. It's going from strength to strength now. Really is going great guns. So please have a look at it. Lots of snippets of nightlife and stuff that's going on. TikTok is more about day-to-day activities, restaurants, hotels, beach views, shopping, all that kind of stuff. So have a look on that. And join us on Discord. It's a completely free platform. It's a chat platform. It's really, really good. Going from strength to strength. So have a look on that, guys, please. And like I say, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link on our members area at buzzingpattaya.com. Okay, thank you very much for watching, guys. And please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.